Wife gave me an ultimatum. Welcome my ex into our home or leave. I chose to walk out. By sunrise, she was on her knees begging me back. Her face? Absolutely priceless. I never thought a single sentence could detonate 8 years of marriage. But that's exactly what happened on a quiet Thursday evening in October. Sophia stood in our living room, arms crossed, eyes blazing with that righteous fire she wore whenever she knew she was about to drop a bomb. Behind her, framed photos of us, smiling on beaches, laughing at Christmas, kissing on our wedding day, seemed to watch in silent disbelief. Ryan, she said, voice steady and cold, I've made my decision. Jake is moving in next month. He's getting out of his bad situation, and I'm not abandoning him again. You can either welcome him into our home like a mature adult, or you can pack your bags and leave. Those are your choices. Jake, her ex-fiancé, the one who'd shattered her heart a decade ago, vanished for years, then slithered back into her life 6 months earlier with sob stories about lost jobs, eviction notices, and finding himself. The one she'd been texting daily, meeting for coffee as friends, and defending whenever I expressed the slightest unease. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline, the softening, the just kidding. It never came. You're serious, I said. Not a question. Deadly, she replied. Family helps family. Jake is family to me, whether you like it or not. Family. Not me. The man who'd worked double shifts to pay off her student loans, who'd held her through panic attacks, who'd built this life brick by brick beside her. No, the real family was the guy who'd once left her crying on a bathroom floor. The room felt suddenly too small. My chest tightened with a mixture of rage and heartbreak so pure it almost felt clean. I nodded once. Okay. Her eyebrows shot up. She'd expected a fight, tears, bargaining. Not this. Okay, what? Okay, I choose to leave. The words hung between us like smoke. For the first time in years, I saw uncertainty flicker across her face. You don't mean that, she said, softer now. I do. I walked past her toward our bedroom. She followed, heels clicking frantically on the hardwood. Ryan, come on. You're overreacting. It's temporary. A few months until he's back on his feet. I pulled the suitcase from the top shelf, the one we'd bought for our honeymoon, and started filling it with clothes. Folded shirts, jeans, the watch she'd given me for our 5th anniversary. Each item felt like closing a chapter. You're really going to throw away everything we've built over this? Her voice cracked. I paused, looked her straight in the eye. No, Sophia. You're the one throwing it away. I'm just refusing to watch. She grabbed my arm. I love you. You know I do. I gently removed her hand. Love doesn't issue ultimatums. Love doesn't choose an ex over a husband. By midnight, the suitcase was packed, my laptop and important documents secured in a backpack. I'd already forwarded the utilities into her name weeks ago. Quietly, after the 3rd time she dismissed my concerns about Jake. I'd even changed the beneficiary on my life insurance and retirement accounts. Preparation, not paranoia. She stood in the doorway as I carried everything to my truck, tears finally spilling down her cheeks. You'll regret this, she whispered. You'll come crawling back when you realize what you've lost. I closed the tailgate. Good night, sophomore. I drove to the extended stay hotel I'd booked earlier that week, checked in and slept better than I had in months. The next morning, Friday, I woke to 17 missed calls and 43 texts. They started angry. How dare you walk out? Then pleading. Please come home so we can talk. By the last ones, desperation bled through every word. I didn't respond. I went to work, met with my lawyer to file separation papers, and started apartment hunting. Saturday brought more calls. Then silence. Sunday at 5:47 a.m., just as the first light painted the sky rose gold, my phone rang again. This time I answered. Ryan. Her voice was raw, shredded from crying. Yes. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. Please come home. What happened? A long pause. Then a broken whisper. Jake, he took everything. I sat up in bed, heart pounding despite myself. Tell me. After I left, she called Jake in tears, told him the coast was clear. He'd shown up within hours, with 2 duffel bags and a smug grin. They'd argued almost immediately. She wanted boundaries, separate rooms, a timeline. He wanted full access to the house, the spare car, her credit cards temporarily. By Saturday night he'd helped himself to my whiskey collection, invited 3 friends over, and turned our living room into a party zone. When she protested he'd laughed and said, "You wanted me here, babe. This is me." Then while she slept he'd gone through her purse, found her debit card, and withdrawn the daily maximum from 3 different ATMs. He'd taken her laptop, my old gaming console, even the emergency cash we kept in the kitchen drawer. By sunrise he was gone, along with anything valuable he could carry. She'd called the police, but he'd vanished like smoke. The bank could refund some, eventually. But the betrayal, the second time he'd destroyed her, was immediate and total. "I was so stupid," she sobbed. "I chose him over you, and he robbed me blind the second you were gone. You were right about everything. Please, Ryan, please come home. I'll do anything. I'll never speak to him again. I'll go to therapy. I need you." I listened to her break completely on the other end of the line. Part of me ached, the part that still remembered her laughter, her warmth, the life we'd shared. But a larger part felt the cold satisfaction of vindication. "I'm sorry you're hurting," I said quietly. "Truly. But I'm not coming back." Silence. Then a wounded gasp. "You don't mean that." "I do. You made your choice crystal clear. I made mine. I'm begging you. You begged me to accept him into our home. I begged you to choose us. You didn't. Consequences aren't negotiable, sophomore." I hung up before she could reply. An hour later she showed up at the hotel, hair unbrushed, eyes swollen, wearing the same clothes from 2 days ago. The front desk called my room. I went down to meet her in the lobby. She dropped to her knees right there on the tile floor, in front of strangers sipping coffee and checking out. Tears streamed down her face as she clutched at my jeans. "I'm so sorry," she choked out. "I was arrogant and cruel and blind. You're the best man I've ever known, and I threw you away for a ghost. Please forgive me. Please give me another chance." People stared. Someone pulled out a phone. I gently lifted her to her feet, led her to a quiet corner sofa. Her face in that moment, utter devastation, humiliation, desperate regret, was something I'll never forget. Pride shattered. Illusion destroyed. The woman who'd stood tall delivering ultimatums now knelt broken on a hotel floor. I looked at her for a long time. "I forgive you," I said finally. "But forgiveness isn't reconciliation. We're done." She searched my eyes for any crack, any softness. Found none. As I walked away she stayed on that sofa, head in her hands, shoulders shaking. I moved into a new apartment that week. Started dating 6 months later. Someone kind, drama-free, who chooses me every day without being asked. Sophia sold the house to cover debts. Last I heard she'd moved 3 states away, changed jobs, and was trying to rebuild. Sometimes consequences arrive not with thunder, but with the quiet click of a door closing behind you. She gave me an ultimatum. I walked out. By sunrise she was on her knees. And her face when reality finally caught her? Absolutely priceless.